Welcome to the Joy Inspired podcast. I'm Nikki and I'm thrilled to explore with you what it means to walk in a faith-infused business. This is your space to find powerful tools and insights, to build with resilience, and to create impact through your unique purpose, discovering a joy that only God can provide. Together, let's embrace a business journey anchored in faith and empowered by joy. Let's jump in. Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Joy Inspired podcast. This is the space where I share my tips for infusing faith into your business joyfully. I'm your host, Nikki, and today we're going to be talking about something that is so important and has become something I am passionate about and committed to. We're talking about something that's not just a business strategy, but also a kingdom principle, and that is building bridges. Creating those inclusive, supported, faith-based business networks is so important. And we're going to dive into the why and the how. And I know you're going to walk away with plenty of tips for showing up prepared to network, whether you're doing it online or in person. Let's be honest. Have you ever had a moment where it was, I'm going to do it all myself? I sure have. In my years just out of my wheelchair, I'd been in isolation for so long. It was difficult for me to reach out and build relationships. And I tried to do it all alone. I mean, I was the girl, right? The one who thought if I wanted it done right, I just had to do it myself. But you know what? That mindset is not a godly mindset. We are not created to do things alone. And on a practical side, we burn out. It wore me out faster than you can imagine. And I was exhausted and ill-equipped. So when you hit that burnout, you start to realize perhaps you don't have the support and network structure that you get to have in order to stay joyful and stay connected. If we look at Ecclesiastes 4, 9, and 10, it clearly tells us two are better than one. If either of them fall down, one can help the other up, right? That's exactly it. That's your divine blueprint for community. God knows we need each other, not just for prayer, but also for partnership. Let's talk about creating those inclusive faith-based networks. Why do we want to do it? Because we get to include those that are not like us. Look at Christ's disciples. If you take a look at them, they were so diverse. And he didn't choose 12 identical people with the same skills. No, he had a fisherman, he had a tax collector, he even had a zealot. Talk about a diverse team there. And can you imagine at times how awkward that table conversation might have been? God's table is big enough for everyone. And we see it in the way Christ chose his disciples. So we get to be inclusive, and other people's skills build us up. When we collaborate and we build other people up, exactly the same thing is happening. Couple of tips for being prepared for networking. The obvious one, which yes, I often miss, have a pen and paper handy. Have it in your purse, have it in your pocket, and on networking events, have it in front of you. Online networking events, don't forget to save the chat. And when you're on Zoom and you click those three dots in the top right-hand corner of the chat column, it saves it into your documents, Zoom, and the name of the meeting. And it captures every comment that was put in. So as people are dropping their links, you can retrieve them from that. And if you want a really cool tip for making that easier, message me. I have one. When you're networking in person, have your elevator pitch ready. What is your elevator pitch? It's that short 15 to 30 seconds. For example, hi, I'm Nikki. I coach female Christian entrepreneurs, and I'm helping women infuse their faith into their businesses with joy. It's quick, it's descriptive, and people know who I am and what I do. And when you show up to deliver that elevator pitch, make sure you're dressed for the occasion. Wear something professional, yet approachable. Don't look so stiff and high and mighty that nobody feels comfortable around you. The way you show up is so important because not only are we representing ourselves, but we're ambassadors for Christ. Have a look at 2 Corinthians 5:20. And the most important thing that you get to wear, do you know what it is? A smile. A smile is the cheapest and fastest way to look amazing. And in Proverbs 15:13, it reminds us a happy heart makes the face cheerful. So you're showing on the outside what is in your heart. Carry business cards or a digital contact option. Always have them ready. Don't have to go scratching around in your bag and pulling everything else in your handbag out like Mary Poppins would have had to. Nobody wants you to dig through your purse like that. And it seemed like a mission for you to be giving them the contact details they need. Also, be a really good listener at networking events because networking isn't about showing everybody how smart you are and dominating the conversation. It's about connecting. Ask open-ended questions like, what inspired you to start your business? Or how can I support you? Aren't you more comfortable when people ask you questions like that, that invite you to share your passion, than having to just barge in and sort of throw it all over everybody? After an event, follow up. Send a quick email or a message so the people you met can remember you from the follow-up. Just a simple one like, hi, Kim, it was great meeting you at last week's church Zoom event. I loved learning about your health journey. Let's stay connected. You know, also, let's talk about name tags. If you wear one, make sure it is on the right side of your chest. Why? So that it's easy to see during a handshake. You know that awkward feeling when you're kind of peering over someone to try and see their name? Don't write your name tag so that people feel like they're trying to read hieroglyphics. Very basic tips, but very powerful. When you're online, make sure that in order for people to network with you, you're optimizing your social media profiles. Update your bio with a professional photograph, a clear description of what you do, and the thorn in my side, links to your website or portfolio. Keep them updated, keep them clean and neat. And where did I get all these tips to share with you? Because these are things that I've forgotten or struggled with at one time or another. You know, Proverbs 22:1 reminds us that a good name is more desirable than great riches. Your profile is part of your reputation, so make it count. And where do you go to network? Look on Facebook and LinkedIn for groups of Christian entrepreneurs, people who are like-minded, and be active in those groups by commenting, sharing resources, and encouraging other people. Don't just go and throw all your stuff in and make sales pitches every day. People like to be seen. People like to be heard and made to feel valuable. And that leads us to sending thoughtful messages. When you want to reach out to somebody, personalize it, use their name. Hi, Kim. I saw your post about health and it really resonated with me. I'd love to connect with you and talk more about what you do. Yep. Those personalized messages is where the connections start. Remember, we're building bridges and we want to invite the person on the other side of the bridge to come and meet with us. We're not rushing over to hit them over the head with our products and services and sell them. Nobody likes to be sold to. People like to be served. And you can't do that until you know something about them. And then when you're working on social media or you have built connection with somebody, be consistent. And I mean that in two ways. Be consistent with your posting and Post regularly to share your expertise and your value. Yes, for free. Give value always. And then engage with others by liking and commenting and sharing on their content. Leverage virtual networking events. When there's a networking event, you treat it like in-person ones. You give it the same respect. Show up on time. Actively participate in the discussions. And where possible, keep your camera on. Now, I fairly often turn my camera off. I have some health challenges, and I would rather attend the meeting with my camera off than not attend at all. However, I do notify the host why my camera's off beforehand. And let's not forget those awkward Zoom moments when somebody forgets they're unmuted and there's all sorts of background noises going on. Rule number 1 on online network marketing is mute is your friend. And rule number 2 is double check your background. You don't want to have your laundry piled up and hanging there, and people want to get to know you, but not that much about you. So, inclusive ways to start your marketing. Start with a prayer. Ask God to guide your connections and bless your efforts. Commit your networking goals to Him. He has set up divine connections for you. Make sure you're asking Him to come in and empower you to see those connections. And create a safe space for other people. Foster an environment where people feel welcome, where they feel valued, and include them. Promote collaboration over competition. Just think of Romans 12:10. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. In these networkings, celebrate wins together. Acknowledge and celebrate other people's successes within your network and new people. Just write a brief comment. Congratulations to so-and-so on launching their new product. Let's support them. It's so empowering. Offer value. When you are sharing resources, advice, or encouragement, do it without expecting anything in return. Give freely. Remember, sowing seeds of generosity reaps a harvest of meaningful connections. Have a look at 2 Corinthians 9, verse 6. And then be inclusive. Welcome a diverse group of people and perspectives because they bring different skills. And every part of the body of Christ has a purpose. So look for individuals who have different talents, unique skills, and that can complement the group. You know, Helen Keller said very simply, but so powerfully, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. So my challenge for you this week, whether it's online or in person, is to step out and connect with somebody. Reach out with a thoughtful message, join a Facebook group, or simply show up prepared with your pitch and a smile. Remember, networking isn't just about growing your business. It's about growing the kingdom. And when you show up authentically and with integrity, you open doors that you never expected would be there. So what is it that stops us going out, building the relationships and connecting? For a long time, for me, it was fear. Fear that I didn't know enough. Fear that other people wouldn't accept me. Fear that I had nothing to offer in a group and I didn't just want to be taken. Well, let's remember what we've already discussed, and that is your self-worth, your value. You have a unique purpose. And at that particular networking event, you may not have the same level of skills as other people, but what do you have? Perhaps a comforting smile, perhaps some encouragement. So that's what you get to share. You have something to offer other people, and you have something to receive from other people. So to wrap it up today, I want to leave you with Hebrews 10, verses 24 and 25. And let us consider how we may spur one another towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. That's what it really is all about. Encouraging one another, growing together, and shining of the light of Christ in the business world, in the marketplace. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope those have been some valuable tips, simple though they are. And remember, God's plans for your life and business are bigger than you could even imagine. So don't even try and walk alone. Let's build together, grow together, and glorify Him in all we do. Until next time, stay joyful and inspired. Thank you so much for joining me on the Joy Inspired Podcast at www.joyinspiredpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can get this and every other episode that comes out. We have lots of great stuff coming and you don't want to miss it. So make sure to hit that subscribe. I am so grateful for all the reviews and comments, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.